2025. That's more than were killed in all of 2024. You are failing. Amnesty International says you are failing at security. The numbers don't lie.
It's unfortunate, and as a government,
and it's getting worse.
We're working day and night
and it's getting worse.
That situation. I don't agree to the fact that it's getting worse.
How can it not get worse if more people die in 1 year than the previous year?
Context matters.
What's the context?
The context is not getting worse.
What?
Yes.
The context is not getting worse.
The context is that it is not getting worse because you see, this is a water.
What happens when political talking points collide with hard facts on international television? That was the dramatic moment when Daniel Bola, an advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, walked into what many Nigerians are now calling one of the most uncomfortable interviews of his career. During a heated appearance on Al Jazeera Head-to-Head, Daniel Bola found himself under intense scrutiny from veteran journalist Mehdi Hassan, known globally for his sharp questioning and relentless fact-checking. Hassan confronted Bola with statements he made criticizing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu long before he joined the administration as Special Advisor on Policy Communication. But instead of acknowledging those earlier comments, Bola repeatedly denied making them. That's when the interview took a dramatic turn. Hassan began quoting Bola's exact words along with the date they were made, leaving the presidential aide visibly uncomfortable as the discussion unfolded. The moment quickly became the focal point of the interview, turning what was supposed to be a defense of government policy into a tense exchange about credibility and political consistency. Within hours, clips of the encounter spread rapidly across Nigerian social media. Many users on X described the performance as embarrassing, accusing Bola of contradicting his own record. Some argue that facing a journalist like Hassan required preparation, precision, and documented evidence, something they believe was missing. Some of the tweets read, "To say the least, it was a disaster. He clearly thought his legal background and bold articulation would save him, but he underestimated the digital age. Voila might have emerged unscathed in the 1980s, but today an internet footprint is always at one's beck and call. And as they say, the internet never forgets. I expect PBAT to relieve him of his duties, perhaps citing health or family issues as a graceful exit." Another ex-user wrote, "Daniel Bola's recent interview on Al Jazeera's Head-to-Head with Mehdi Hassan was nothing short of a public relations disaster for the Tinubu administration. Such is bound to happen when you work for an inutile administration. As Special Advisor on Media and Policy Communications, Bola was tasked with defending the government's renewed hope agenda amid escalating crises in insecurity, economy, and corruption. Instead, he stumbled through contradictions, vague deflections, and repeated admissions of ignorance, underscoring the administration's broader failure. Bola dismissed claims of a Christian genocide as a hoax but offered no concrete policies beyond vague mentions of international cooperation and school relocations. His go-to response, "I'm not aware," uttered multiple times when pressed on civilian casualties from US-Nigerian strikes or Amnesty International report on impunity. This evasion exposed a government out of touch, unable to articulate or implement effective strategies against a crisis economy of kidnappings. On the economy, Daniel Bola touted subsidy removals and other reforms praised by the IMF, claiming boosted reserves and a stronger naira. Yet he couldn't counter data showing poverty engulfing 141 million Nigerians in 2026 or the closure of 20,000 schools due to attacks. Promises of stable electricity in 4 years rang hollow amid recent grid collapses. Corruption defenses fared worse. Bola downplayed Tinubu's no more corruption claim as contextual, while justifying appointments of corrupt individuals linked to embezzling billions. Hassan resurfaced Bola's own statement accusing Tinubu of setting up militias, vote buying with bullion vans, and threats, which Bola denied or reframed as opposition rhetoric, in quote and unquote, revealing his flip-flopping for political gain. Now, Bola's selective amnesia and his comedy of incompetence are so astonishing. For emphasis, Nigerians' reality and facts from the same everyday living of Nigerians paint a damning picture. Under Tinubu, Nigerians grapples with senseless killings, needless violence and deepening poverty, and mindless looting of our common patrimony. Bola's failure to defend or explain policies isn't just personal, it's a symptom of the APC Tinubu-led government that is simply not delivering. Only yesterday, it was reported in a shocking attack on Ngoje town in Goza local government area of Borno State. Heavily armed terrorists believed to be members of Boko Haram stormed a military formation and nearby IDP camps. According to local reports, the attackers overran part of the area, engaging both soldiers in a gunfire battle that lasted for hours. The assault reportedly left an unspecified numbers of soldiers and civilians dead, though the exact casualty figure remains unclear. Amid the chaos, the terrorists allegedly abducted several women and children from displaced camps, forcing them into surrendering forest as frightened residents fled for safety. Ngoje is a community town near the Mandara Mountains close to the Nigeria-Cameroon border and has long been vulnerable to insurgent attacks due to its remote location and proximity to militant hideouts. Residents say the sudden attack sent shockwaves through the town, with many families now searching desperately for missing relatives. This is the reality of insecurity in the APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration. The irony of the situation is the fact that Daniel Bola is actually from Borno State, the same region that has suffered the most from the devastation caused by Boko Haram. For many people, this makes the situation even more striking. Borno has been the epicenter of insurgent violence for more than a decade. Towns have been destroyed and soldiers have been killed. A lot of people have been displaced. Yet, when attacks like the Goza one happens, people argue that the government spokesperson often appears defensive rather than deeply empathetic to the people enduring the crisis. That contrast is what fuels the irony. A man from the very state that has borne the brunt of the insurgency now finds himself defending the same policies of the federal government being criticized over insecurity in that same region.
Failing at security, the numbers don't lie.
It's unfortunate, and as a government,
And it's getting worse.
we're working day and night
And it's
to deal
getting
with that
worse.
situation. I don't agree to the fact that it's getting
How
worse.
can it not get worse if more people die in 1 year than the previous year?
Context matters.
What's the context?
The context is not getting worse.
What?
Yes.
The context is not getting worse.
The context is that it is not getting worse because you see, this is a water, right?
Okay.
If you have the water half,